I think today I'm actually going to go over two of our systems. One will be Title Toolbox, what you see on the screen, and then I just in a text or via chat to another app that we have in for our system. If you guys will go to your app store and just type in Property Force, one word, it should be like a icon. It's like a house with a P and an F. Download that and have that ready so we can get to a quick demonstration on that later on as well. And that's the invite code.
Can you repeat
Yeah.
that on the on which app to download? And are there two that you're talking about, or just one? Sorry.
Yeah. So today I'm going to go over Title Toolbox, which you're seeing on my screen, but we also have another app that we have. So I wanted you to get that as well. So via the chat, I put in in your app store, type in Property Force, and that is the app that you should download. And then it'll ask for an invite code. And the invite code is VEN for title. Okay, so okay, there's more people coming in. Awesome. And Samantha, thank you for putting this together. Appreciate that. Gonna get we have your mentee group here and a lot of seasoned agents as well. And I think going forward in this market the way that it's going, we need to get back to basics, and this is basics in terms of the app and the usage, but how we're going to use it, I think it's going to help you guys get the business that you guys are looking for and really, cement yourself in a specific neighborhood and or farm. So let's just get started. On my screen here is the ClearMark Title Toolbox. That is our system that allows you to create farms, net sheets, property profiles. Those are the true main things that the system does. What is a property profile? For those that don't know, it's an informational report on a property that spells out the beds, the bath, the square footage count, who owns it, how much they owe on the property. And those are information that you can utilize when you're out there looking at property, or when you're out there negotiating a buy or a sell or a comparison, because you need to know that information. Okay. A net sheet is where somebody like a seller is gonna want to know what they're gonna net on the sale. For example, they bought the house for $300,000. They owe $100,000, so their net there is really $200,000. However, there's commissions, there's title insurance, there's escrow, there's home warranty. That's all spelled out for you as well, right there. And then, of course, farming is something that I highly suggest everybody needs to be doing. Don't forget, we're in a business where it's a numbers game, and we have our sphere of influence, just like any other any other sales job, we're out there going after our own people that we know, that we're comfortable with. However, we need to have multiple sources of income, because unlike a W-9 job or W-2 job, we don't have a we don't get a paycheck, right? We're only as good as our last sale. But in real estate specifically, it is a very relationship type of business, right? We have to be able to help people understand, educate them, help them make their best decisions, because this is most likely their most, highest purchase and or sale for them. If not, unless they do it again and again and again, of course. So let me just do the farming portion first, because that will take me to some addresses that I can utilize. So for example, if I click on farming, you have a couple of things here: radius, farming, boundary search, and area search. Radius search is when you do is what appraisers use. They want to do a quarter-mile radius to a specific property. Boundary search is where you can actually be definite about a certain boundary. Let's just say, for Larchmont example, that area, you can take like Beverly to 3rd, down to 2nd, and all the way to Larchmont. I'm just making the streets up, I don't know. For example, but basically what you're creating is a polygon. That way you're only looking for information inside that polygon. And then finally, you have area search. Area search is when you're trying to say, I want, all of Larchmont 90004, or I want all of Corpus City, the city Corpus City, for example. So you can do it that way as well. Your farms, nice thing about this system, when you save a farm and it's in your system, it automatically updates for you, right? So let's just say, 3 weeks from now, somebody sells their property and you update your farm, it notifies you. It says, Chris, this person just moved. You don't have to, once you know that, then you can decide if you want to market to the new person. You don't want to market to the old person anymore, and so on and so on. So you have that information at your fingertips. Let me just do boundary search real quick. You click on that, it'll ask for an address. The address will take you to wherever you need to be. But let me just use the office address.
And let me just clarify. So this is not the app on the phone. This is what we get a password emailed to us to use on the computer, right?
Yes and no. So this is the desktop version. This also has a phone app version as well. So this one is, again, Title Toolbox. You would go to your app store and download Title Toolbox. It does exactly what we're seeing here. But obviously, this program, like many other programs, it's more user friendly to do it on the computer, because you have more real estate to work with, right? So that's why I'm just demonstrating some of the stuff here, and then where we're going to go next is the other app that I put into the chat, and that app is a different version of this. It's totally separate, but it has the walking farm that we were discussing. Okay. But I think it's beneficial for everyone to kind of understand and know, this system as well. So we're in here. I put in the address. You can zoom in and you can take you to a specific area. See, so you're zooming in, and if we wanted to farm, say, I'm just going to draw boundaries, right? I'm just going to take this over here, close it up, hit next. And you can filter basically almost anything. If you want only SFRs, if you want condos, if you wanted to add multifamilies, duplexes, triplexes, and so on, then you have the information right there. You can always get out and go owner occupied, yes or no, which means that these people live there. If you want to find renters, then you want to go no, because that way, they don't live there, for example. But I'm just for this example, I'm just going to go to all. And when you hit get count, it tells you exactly what's happening in that field. And believe it or not, that little square that I blocked off has 800 properties in there. Okay. And nice thing about that too is now they built in the dynamic stats over here. If you click on this, it'll tell you the activity within the last 12 months. right? It'll tell you exactly what happened once it loads. Right, the turnover ratio in that area right now is at 3% roughly. Okay, this is the average sales price. There's just this many homes, and this is how many homes sold in the last 12 months. And this is how many that are non-owner occupied, meaning that these people are renting right now.
So Van, it says 60-month look back, but the statistics above that are for 12 months?
Correct. Everything here is 12 months. This down here is the 60 months that goes back right here. I know it's a little bit confusing the way it looks, but think of this as the title down here. So yeah, so this is how you kind of know your area. If you're looking for, say, you wanted a farm that you're doing and you wanted to make sure that that's something you want to do, you can go off of these ratios. Samantha, you might know better than me, but I think before they were saying 6-7% turnover ratio was like the target. Real estate's changed a lot, so I personally think any market is good as long as you work the market, and I think that's what the big misconception is the consistency of being able to farm something, right? For example, if you were to market to just 803 homes, okay. If you were just going to send out one postcard or one letter, right, based on 50 cents a record, that's $400 in postage at 50 cents. So keep that in mind when you're picking a farm. You don't want to be over ambitious. You want to be able to farm it consistently for some time, right? We don't expect, you shouldn't expect to be able to get some deals out of a specific farm in a week, a month, sometimes even a year. It all depends on the situation. It depends on the market. It depends on the area. It depends on so many other factors. But however, the success portion of it, I think, is being consistent. And KW teaches you guys this with the 30 by 30 plan or so on. You need to be able to hit them consistently on a weekly basis. Let's just say the 30 by 30 plan, the 30 weeks straight. You can call them. You can send a message, send a mailer. You can drop off something. You can text them, and so on to do that.
Ben, can I ask a quick question?
Yes, Tracy.
So this is, you want us to use this when we use the computer, but on our phone, you want us to use a different thing? Is that
no?
clear?
No, I'm no. So the phone has this function as well. It has exactly what this does on the phone, the phone app. What I will go talk towards the end of this class is another system that we have, and I'll give you a sneak peek to that one real quick.
Okay, no, because I mean, I mean the toolkit. This is separate than what I think I had from ClearMark. So yeah, it's a different. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I think it's just confusing that you're recommending two apps. It's just not what we're sort of used to. So I think.
Well, it's not really. It is two different things. The thing is that they all do different things, and they have to strengthen it. Is what I'm saying, right? The other app that, again, I'll bring up in a little bit. Maybe I should have brought it up later on. That app unfortunately doesn't have a desktop version. You see what I mean? So it's just like it's not as flexible with this program when you're doing it on a computer. That's what I'm trying to get to.
So then, just to be clear, to get onto the computer to use this, which is attached to an app that has a different name, this is called ClearMarkTitleToolbox.com.
Correct.
Okay. So everybody should have that and know that if they're going to go on their desktop, that's what they need to know. ClearMarkTitleToolbox.com. And then the version of this that's on an app is called Title Toolbox.
Same thing, Title Toolbox, correct.
But that's not the same thing. ClearMark Title Toolbox is not the same. It's called Title Toolbox, right? That's the app. What is the app called? What's the full name of the app? Just so everybody's clear.
The app to this specific desktop version is Title Toolbox.
Okay.
So Title Toolbox is a party that we third party off of, and then we name it ClearMark Title Toolbox. That's all it is.
Okay, so if someone's searching for it on the App Store, it's Title Toolbox, not
Title
ClearMark,
Toolbox.
just Title
correct.
Toolbox. Okay, so they're the same exact thing. ClearMark Title Toolbox is the desktop and Title Toolbox is the app.
Correct.
Is everybody clear on that?
What a,
No, there's another app he also recommended. If you
Um,
better.
Right, but we're not there yet. We're only here. Perfect. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about the confusion, but as soon as we get there, I think it will all make sense in terms of the difference of it all. Because, yeah, so we'll get there. But anyway, so here we are. This is the data that we have here. And if you wanted to see this data, you would hit download and view the records. One thing I do want to show you guys here is the Premier Data app, tab. And the tab allows you to purchase phone numbers and emails if that's what you want to do. Phone numbers are 5 cents a record and emails are 7 cents a record. Okay, so for example, what can you use the emails for? You can use them for your command. You can use them for your homebot if you're in that system. You can use that for emails within a specific farm. Emailing is, of course, a lot cheaper than sending out stuff, but at the same time, it can be also one of your touches to your farm, for example. Okay, and another quick thing real quick is when we're talking about this system also, it has what we call leads, okay? And the leads that are free for you are empty nesters right here, next sellers right here, and out of state. Okay, and I'll just go talk about this real quickly. Out of state it's pretty self-explanatory. These people live out of state. They rent their properties out here. They might not have an agent. They might not have agents giving them, reports and or information about the neighborhood of what's happening. So it's good to reach out to them. They might be in Dallas, but at least they have a contact here if they ever need anything from you. Again, we're just planting seeds. We're just doing that to build relationships. Next sellers is based on, as I mentioned in the meeting, is based on an algorithm of a specific neighborhood. Where I live, where Samantha lives, where Chris lives, we're all going to have different scenarios. For example, if it's a condo complex, the system kind of knows and tracks how many people have moved in and moved out with a specific amount of time, and it gives you a average home ownership time for that specific period. And I use condos because let's just say condos are usually first-time home buyer situations. They live in it, newlyweds they move in, or single, they move in, they live in it a couple of years, they have a child, and then they move out because they need more space, they need to find a better school, and so on and so on. So that's kind of how they kind of interpret this stuff out here. So let me just do this real quick. If I go to only next sellers, all right, remember there were 803 properties roughly in that pocket that I censored out. If you were going to just do next sellers, hit the get count, we're going to show vastly less. There's only 31 properties. Okay, 31 properties in that section that the computer thinks people are going to move in and out of. Now, Larchmont probably has a more long-term ownership level of residents, so that's probably why. But this is a great way because these 31 people, if you give them more attention, meaning that if you're going to send them something, send them a little bit more frequency, for example. If you're going to door knock more frequency, for example, they might be more inclined to sell. If you offer them a resource for questions and so on, they might be able to want to participate some more. So that's what that means. And then finally, empty nesters, 30 years plus ownership, and you'll see it's going to be quite a bit more than the 31, of course, but way below the 803 that's out there. So 116 properties in the area right now are currently own their properties 30 years plus. So what does that mean? Good chances, 1, they're free and clear. 2, they're empty nesting, meaning that their kids are grown, they're in college or they have their own families now. They might want to move, right? They might want to sell. So keep that in mind. These are people that are older, that are looking for, you know, Prop 19 concepts where they can move their tax bracket with them or tax basis with them to a different county, up and down a state now, to be with the grandchildren or their kids, retired, so on and so on. That's what that's for. Okay, and let me just click on one to show you what it looks like once we get to the data. Okay. So here we are. This is the data that is the next seller. It tells you right here, next sellers as well. And
Hi.
these are the people.
That's unbelievable. I've been talking about agent a lot, and I was like,
She's horrible.
well, I'm showing it today at 4. Joey's gonna go show it.
I don't know how to mute.
You know, I don't understand people. Like the house at Griffith View, they got like 1-4, round 1-4. I remember 1-4 all cash. And they were like, we're not taking any of the offers. And I'm like, oh, really? You think it's gonna get better?
And I think if you hover over her.
So you're gonna offer you 1-5 for that
You
piece
might
of
have
shit?
some options.
Honestly, the guy, as I understand it, and I talked to
Alex.
her for a while at length because I had a developer client who was interested, and we wrote an offer, and then I kept up with her, and she wouldn't respond. They were
Alex,
like
I'm
really
on mobile.
slow to respond. I was like,
Everyone can
what
hear
is wrong
you.
with you?
Alex.
Alex,
I don't understand that.
Alex.
Hello.
I had some clients, well, they're not my
I
clients.
just texted Alex. Hopefully she'll see it.
thank
There you
you.
go. There you go. She did it. She did it. Oof. Wow. Okay. Sorry about that. So anyway, here's the data. Nothing special here. It's data here, and you can always download this, and then this goes into another CRM, for example. Let me just export it just so you can see, for example, and it goes into this. I don't know where it went. It went to one of my screens. I have some. Let's see if I can bring it forward. Anyway, it's hidden. It's hidden in my computer somewhere. But it is a spreadsheet, and in that spreadsheet you can upload to where you need it to be. Okay.
Ben,
And
then can
ahead.
you work that list in a way that you do it on a mail merge with a Word document?
Yes. So the list comes out as a CSV, and once you're in a CSV situation, when you're mail merging with the Microsoft or any other program, you would just match the fields, right?
Awesome.
Pretty easy to do. Every system is different in that respect, but at the end of the day, it's all the same. You just kind of match the fields, first name, last name, and you think. So let me just show you what a property profile looks like. You just want to see that. If you can always go through it via up here, for example, property search. But to save time, I'm just going to hit on this gear icon, for example, hit profile with comps, and then that will take you to a profile that they're going to be generating. You can see it up here, getting the details. These are the comps in the area that they pulled. And
For the new agents, I would just highlight that you're not necessarily going to run comps from here, or you can, but you're going to look through them because a 5-bedroom is not necessarily comparable to a 3-bedroom. So you're going to, I don't want you to think it's as easy as that.
yeah, I mean, automated comps are there for just for reference purposes. You definitely, as a professional, you're the one that decides what the real comps are. So this is our property profile. It has the owner's information, the legal information in terms of the description. You also always have the bed and bath count, like I said over here. The recent loan and purchase. This person just purchased a property, 1455. Well, I mean 1.45500. so on. So you know, this is something that if you were to go to say on a listing appointment, you would take some of this data out. You can utilize that to put into your report to your listing appointment. Same thing if you're going to go show property and your client's really interested, you kind of want to know as much about the property as you can. And again, the comps are there. You can kind of say, oh, okay, I think the price is this or that, because based on the comps, but also do your own research to make sure that you're on the same page with that. Okay. And net sheets, real quickly, net sheets up here, for example, 151 Arden, I can do this. Pick this address and you want to come to drop down, go to net sheet. And this is great. It's able to, you can manipulate basically almost everything on here. Sales price, if it's not the correct sales price, buyer's agent fees, seller's agent fees, if this was a more of an even deal. Loan amount, it pulls the loan amounts for you. Again, the loan amounts are based on the recorded loan amount. If this was, say, in 2009, it'll be lower because, you know, principal has been paid down, but this is just a high level overview of what it would cost for them to sell the property. And it'll tell you that their net, you know, proceeds would be $800,000 based on this sales price.
I'm so sorry. Can I ask you a quick question about this? This is a good tool, but I was wondering, those closing costs, are they automatically an estimate put on there, or did you go through and input that? You know what I mean? Because the closing costs,
they're an estimate. They're an estimate.
But it's an estimate from where?
The system is pulled. So the city and the county are, I think, they're pretty accurate. Okay. These are just normal fees. I don't know what the percentage is. It's probably an average based on Southern California market, is my guess. However, these, you know, you can change them, right? When you're looking at them and they look high or whatnot, you can call me and I can find out, you know, what they are, your real fee, if it becomes a real bona fide deal.
Okay. Thank you.
You know, home warranty, you know, $250 is pretty low, right? It's really more like $500-$600 nowadays, for example. HOA docs, if this is in a property with an HOA, obviously there is an HOA. So there is a little bit of work, but for the most part, the gist of it is there. And I think that's really what it comes down to. When you get to a deal, then of course you can have, you know, escrow come up with a net sheet, a more accurate net sheet that, you know, we can kind of, you know, go off of for sure. But this is a general idea. If they're looking to say, if you want to make, you know, $795,000, you're actually going to be making more than that over here, right? So, okay. And then let me just do a generate real quick, and this shows you what it looks like. It's nice and pretty that you can send over to a client so they can have. Yeah, so it looks like that. Okay. Awesome. All right. Any questions so far? I saw lots of come up on the chat, so let me just look through that real quick. Let's see here. Okay. Thank you for that, Samantha. Okay. Perfect. All right. So this is, in a nutshell, you know, what Title Toolbox can do for you and the business, of course. Again, just like anything else, you just gotta kind of have to use it to kind of get familiar with it. And as much information that this program does have, if you don't utilize it, you know, it doesn't work. But if you guys have any ideas or any questions about how to use it, to you know, if you're using it right or wrong, please don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. Here to help you with that anytime. So again, this has an app, right? So let's be clear, Title Toolbox on App Store is what this is, and that's done. Okay. Now, the app that I was talking about before, which is a different system, it does not have a desktop version, is called Property Force. Okay. I'm gonna put in the chat right now. If you would go to your app store and type in Property Force one word, okay, and you should come up with an icon that looks like a house with a P and F inside of it. Open up the app, and you're going to be able to put in my invite code, which is VEN for title. Okay, I'm actually going to stop screen sharing here. I'm going to screen share on my phone now. Perfect.
How did you do that? Curious, I've never seen that.
See what?
Someone screen share their phone.
I'm sorry?
Screen sharing your phone.
It's just a screen share button on the Zoom. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Zoom, it's the same way you would screen share a desktop. But so here we are, and this program here again, once you're in the system, you're able to get to the app, and then you put in my code, VEN for title, and I'll take you here. So this, for example, is the system. There's just a slight lag actually. And same thing, you can do properties, you can do profiles and so on. But the one thing that Samantha wanted when we were talked about was she wanted the walking farm. Okay. So what the walking farm does, it allows you to create a farm where you can walk it, and the computer will actually help you dictate that, and you can actually start putting in your notes into the system. That way you don't have to print out paper if you didn't want to do that. So again, we'll get here, you go to walking farm, you click on new farm, it takes you to an area. I'm just going to do this section here. So you down here, you click on the well, you guys can't see what I click on, unfortunately. The bottom left side is this polygon looking thing. Click on that, and that will allow you to draw. Okay, just by putting your finger down, allows you to draw this area that I just highlighted. Okay, hit apply, top left, hit apply, and now I can get the report count on the bottom. Click on that. It will tell you how many homes you highlighted. For example, there's 21 properties, nothing sold in the last year. Okay, and if I wanted to get the report, yes, I do. And now that takes me to, it's going to open up another. So I can name it something, right? I'll name it Nectarine, for example. And so here we are. Okay, so nothing, again, this is the report up here, and nothing sold in the last 12 months in that specific area. But you can see on the bottom, there's a spreadsheet, there's a AV labels, there's a walking farm PDF. That's if you wanted to print it out on paper and walk it, you can do that. Or you can simply hit that walk it button right there, right in the middle of the screen. Okay, by pressing on that button, it'll take you to, well, hit the map. I'm sorry, hit the map, and it'll take you to this screen here. And then on the bottom is this draw walk order. Click on that, and you can draw the way you want to walk it, right? So if I wanted to start from the left, the house all the way to the left, and I would go like this, like that, and you come back, it automatically does all that for you. And now hit it done. Oh, there you go. Okay, and then hit back, and you hit the list, and it has all the properties. So when you're walking to the neighborhood, you know everybody's names. Okay, you click on there, for example, you go to notes right there, and if you talk to somebody, you can go ahead and type in what you talked about. Interested, call me later. Hit done. The timestamps and everything for you. Okay. On the top, you can't really see it, unfortunately. There must be either my phone or it's a formatting issue, but you can scroll left to kind of pick what it is. So you kind of have a glance of it when you're in the front page. So you got not contacted, not home, not interested, on market, lead, and then prospect. The blue is prospect. Okay, so let's just say I think this is a lead. I'll go into lead and I'll go back. Okay, so now the screen changes. See that? So when I'm looking at this, when I get home, I can see that, okay, I have one lead that I identified today. Going back to this again, I'm gonna go back to the same record. You can actually hit property profile, and then that will give you again the same information as the other system, like any other system actually, but in a different user interface. And this is more like a black and white issue. Sorry, not the issue, but black and white format. So again, details, you're at, characters, characteristics, you can see who owns it, the details, the property information and so on, how much he owes, transaction history. You can get a copy of these links are all live. You click on the links, it will automatically email you that specific document as well. Okay.
So then about what they owe, can you say again, is it the initial loan or does it change at all? Is there any way to know?
Yes, it's always the initial loan. Unfortunately, we can't out, if someone's made accelerated payments, we can try to miss payments, but if somebody puts an extra $5 or $500 a month, we don't know that. We can't tell that. Remember, we can only get information that is publicly recorded. Other than that, everything else is almost an assumption or a guesstimate. But anything that's recorded, anything that's voluntary or involuntary, that's recorded, a lien, a judgment, and so on, we can see it as a record. Okay, any questions on this?
Awesome. I do have a question. I'm on the app and I'm trying to draw the polygon and I can't. I don't know how you did that. Can you go back to that first sheet?
Yeah. Okay, so let me just, is it clear here or no?
Tracy, it took me a bit as well on the map.
Yeah, it keeps saying that there's nothing chosen, so.
Okay, so if I'm doing this right here, for example, see, you guys can't see what I'm pressing, unfortunately. I don't have a mouse for you guys, but what I'm doing is I'm just drawing dots, with this. It closes up. On the top left-hand side, you see apply is where you need to click on. Once it applies.
But I can't draw anything, is what I'm saying. Like, Tracy, I have a map.
You got the map. Did you click on that little polygon on the bottom left on the screen? The little tiny polygon on the bottom left of his screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Well, now my screen doesn't have that. It just has like a reboot thing. I got to get out of this. Okay.
Yeah. But
I see what you're saying.
Once you draw that, yeah, just play with it a little bit, Tracy. I mean, once you get familiar with it, it's pretty. It'll work pretty smoothly.
And then when we go on that other app that had to do with the laptop thing you were doing, it requires us to put in a ton of information, and the contact there is John Pena, not your name, because I recognized his.
Oh, so, Joe Pena, okay.
Yeah, so I don't think that people would know that. So that might be something you're going to get a lot of questions about.
That's odd. I just tested it, and it should be your credentials from the other one, I would think, but.
Well, no, it didn't even have your name, but I recognized Joe. I'm sorry. And then it asked me for his license number. There's a lot to fill out. So you might want to send us all that information so we can get that on too.
Okay, I'll look into that. Yeah, that's weird. Perfect. any questions? I'm sorry if it was a little bit confusing, but I'm here and happy to help you guys, you know, one-on-one, even if you guys need to, just let me know.
I feel like we'll need to play with the, play with these apps a little bit.
Yeah, I think just like any technology, you would just kind of play with it, see, you know, and then you'll have questions which we can answer.
I had a question.
Yes, Zach.
Yeah. So the title report URL on the computer is matched up with the title toolbox, and then there's this other app. Just sort of summarizing here and trying to wrap my head around it. Property Force is a different place to go, only on your phone. And when could you sort of define? I know it's all useful, but like, could you sort of outline when to use which, or in what situation you might find one more useful than the other? It sounds like Property Force is sort of like in the field, taking notes. Anyway, that's sort of the question. If you could summarize.
Yeah.
What you think is useful when and how.
Definitely. Yeah. So Property Force, it does run lighter, if that makes any sense, in terms of resources, in terms of, you know, for your phone. So you'll have a more fluid experience with it. But yes, it's definitely more out in the field. There's a couple more things in Property Force that I didn't show you. For example, just like a calculator. When you get into it, you can see that there's a calculator where, for example, you're sitting down at a coffee with somebody, and somebody says, "Hey, I wonder what my payment would be if I bought a house, you know, X amount of money. What will my payment be?" There's actually a calculator in that app that can help you calculate that on the fly. Okay. So yes, I think that's more when you're out on the field and you're on the fly. When it comes down to doing actual work on a computer and being more zoned in and drilled in onto the information, I definitely suggest you use the title toolbox on the computer, because you just have so much more flexibility, so much more room to move things around. When you're dealing with data, as you can imagine, it gets super cumbersome, and because, you know, being able to move things around, you're definitely going to have a better experience doing so.
I think that answers my question. That was good. Thank you.
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, don't forget, if there's anything you guys need outside of you know, our discussion, and you guys have questions, feel free to reach out to me. My email, my phone number is there. I'm happy to do this on a one-on-one to help you get started even. And then again, of course, the nice thing about Title Toolbox too is I can actually do a form for you, and then I can just put into your account, and you can actually access it just like that. And let me see if I can still zoom here real quick. Nope, I don't want to leave meeting. If I share screen real quick, yeah, here we go. I can actually save forms in here and go to the save forms, and I can put forms into your account, for example. I did a form for Chris back in the day, and it's here. Things I've saved and so on. All righty. Any more questions that I can answer?
I saw something that showed phone numbers. Are most phone numbers equally available?
Yes. So phone numbers, as mentioned, there is a slight cost to them. Phone numbers are going to be 5 cents per phone number, and emails are going to be 7 cents per phone number. Sorry, per email. So to get to phone numbers, you would do a farm. Okay, you hit farming, and again, I like using boundary only because that's something I can get more defined about. 148. Okay, the trick to this system is don't start typing a little bit, let it autofill for you, and then just click on it. Very simple. Okay, and then if I wanted to say, if I wanted here to here to here to here, everything inside this purple shaded area is going to be coming up in my farm search. Hit get count. I'll tell you that there's 67 properties in that area that I just highlighted in purple. When you go to Premier Data and you go to phones and emails right here, is where you're able to purchase the phone numbers and emails. And then it even gives you an estimate of what it would cost if you were to buy it and everything is there. It'll be $8.04. Now, the way it works is that they'll temporarily put an $8.04 charge on your temporary hold on your credit card, for example, and then it's going to drop off once they find out exactly how many they have. Don't forget this information. You're not going to have everyone's phone number, not everybody's email. It's very rare that you'll get everything, but the one that you do have, you should be able to to nurture those numbers and emails if you're doing it right. Which brings me up real quickly to the next big event here is Halloween, right? And here's some ideas for you guys. Something simple as an Halloween coloring contest to keep the kids involved. Walk your neighborhood, walk your farm, pass out pieces of paper, have people enter into your Halloween contest. 25 bucks, 30 bucks to Whole Foods or to a candy store or whatever it is. You're probably going to get 5 people that are going to register. Make them all winners, right? But the thing is, you get that way. You get the information. You have, you have a warm lead now that you can work off of, for example. So things like that. If Halloween is too soon for you, you can't prep for that. There's Christmas coming up, of course. Try to be part of the community. I think that's what a lot of agents forget about is they want to do business, but don't forget this sale is a large part of their lives, and they need to know you, like you, trust you before they actually want to do business with you. So put in that effort and be part of the community. Any other questions? Comments, concerns?
So Ben, we can get on the title toolbox on our own. We don't need an invite.
No, Title Toolbox, I believe most people here have it. If you don't have it, please email me. I'll set you up real quick. Yeah, everything needs to have, I need to set up for you guys, or the company does, because that's the way it works. And Tracy, I believe you have an account already, but if you don't, let me know and I can reset your account.
Okay, yeah, I don't think I do, and I need it like today. Thank you.
I'll get it to you as soon as this call. Yeah.
Awesome, thanks.
No problem. Awesome. All righty. Quick reminder, the counties, well, the banks are closed on Monday. So if you have anything funding, if it's not happening in the next 2 hours, it's probably not going to happen. Our company is on a skeleton crew, but of course, I'm always here to answer your phones and or texts. So please reach out. If not, have a great 3-day weekend, sort of.